everyone, welcome. Today we're going to do a review of the Chanel No. 1 foundation and the lip and cheek balms. This is part of the new No. 1 collection. It looks to be a skincare collection, also I think there's a fragrance mist, and then of course the foundation and the lip and cheek balms. I think there's 5 shades. I'll make sure it's put down below how many exactly there are. I bought 2 of them. I will be going in store into a boutique to talk to my local SA about the skincare and the fragrance mist. As I've mentioned in a couple of other videos, I am a long-time makeup and beauty lover. I was a makeup artist a very long time ago. I worked for Chanel, love Chanel products, but anytime I invest in skincare, I spend a good amount of time investing in understanding what the ingredients are, what they're meant to do, how they'll work before I purchase anything. So the skincare part of this collection, I will do a review on, but it's going to be down the road because I feel like I need to spend time with it to really understand. I'm turning 50 this year, and at least in my opinion, at my age, skincare is a serious matter. Makeup's fun and I love it, but I'm perfectly willing to try out a foundation and lip cheek and all that kind of stuff, but skincare, I don't really do first impressions because I feel like for any skincare to work, it takes time. It takes consistency and time, unless of course you're going to your doctor's office and getting something done. So let's talk a little bit about the foundation. It's called I'm really bad at French, Fond de Teint Revitaliscent, and it's the Camellia Rouge line. And the reason they say that is because when they describe it, this particular foundation, they say it's a buildable foundation with a luminous finish enriched with the red camellia oil and moisturizing ingredients. My understanding is red camellia is in a lot of the skincare products, if not all of them. The formula softens skin, helps to protect against environmental aggressors. The complexion appears plump and naturally more beautiful, which is fantastic. Day after day, skin takes on a youthful glow. The No. 1 de Chanel line, so this includes the skincare, seeks to minimize its environmental impact with sustainably developed formulas that contain up to 97% naturally derived ingredients. Each product is housed in an environmentally sound packaging for reduced carbon footprint, which I think is great for all of us. At the heart of the collection is the red camellia flower, whose revitalizing powers and extraordinary energy give it perennial youth. Red camellia oil delivers comfort, helps maintain skin barrier function after application. The complexion appears 33% more radiant, 55% of comfort restored. After 1 month, skin looks smoother. So it'll be really interesting. Like I said, I'm going to go in store and try out the products, figure out which ones I'm going to pick up, and see what I think of the fragrance mist and if I like the scent. I was looking at the Chanel site, and as I said, I worked for Chanel very, very long time ago, actually while I was in law school. And, next to their other foundations, the price point is in line. It's a little more expensive than many of the foundations. So this is $70. I think in a video recently I said it was $90, so I apologize. It's $70. Not that that's inexpensive, but I was incorrect in the amount. This is 1 fluid ounce, and like I said, it's $70. The other foundations, some of them that I have that are in like the travel plastic containers, and I'll put up some pictures so you know what I'm talking about. Like the Ultra Latent Velvet and the Vitalumiere Aqua, those are also an ounce, and those are $50, so those are cheaper, obviously. The Sublimage, which I use, is in a big glass bottle. That one is a very different, it's a serum foundation. That is $150, so it's quite a bit more, twice as much. La Beige is the Water Fresh tint, which is more of like it's not a tinted moisturizer, it's a smoothing miracle something. It's a great product if you haven't used it before, but it is different. That's $65. The La Beiges, which is a healthy glow foundation, is $60. And the Ultra Latent, which is my new favorite Chanel, which is more of a long-lasting velvet finish, which I absolutely love, is $60. So that's why I'm saying this is in line with those prices, but it is a little bit more at $70, but not as much as the Sublimage. I picked it up in BR12 because, again, if you haven't watched my channel before, I either get BR12 or BR22. I find that I'm kind of in the middle, but right now my skin, I haven't been out a lot. One, it's very cold. It's like 10 degrees in New England. And two, you know, for other reasons, obvious reasons, I've tried not to go into too many places. And if I do go into a place, I have to wear a mask. So I'm very pale. Long way of saying I'm very pale. So let's go ahead and try out the foundation. Let me pull my hair back. Let's get like really, really close. Probably too close, but I want you to be able to see my skin and the foundation as I put it on. You know, one of the things that I think is important in doing this type of work when you're showing beauty products is for you to actually be able to see it. So my skin has nothing on it right now. And I think it's important that you see what, you know, real skin looks like and what these products can do. Because I think a lot of times we see things either filtered or changed in some way, and that's just not helpful, I don't think, to anyone. All right, so it's in like a frosted glass bottle, has a pump, pretty creamy. Yeah, very creamy. Let's go ahead and just put a little bit on the face. I didn't pump enough for probably a full face of foundation, but we can, you know, see how it works. A lot of times when I first use a foundation, I try to use my fingers and see how it spreads because my skin is very dry. And actually I feel like when I use my hands, it actually looks better for my skin because it warms up the skin a little bit. But I will do, when I'm, you know, doing more reviews with this, I'll use a sponge and a brush and see how that works. But for first impressions, I think this will be helpful. It blends beautifully. And it has a scent. All Chanel, I'm gonna do like another half pump. All Chanel foundations have a scent. In fact, I think all Chanel products have a scent. I have heard many times when I was working for them and after, yeah, which was, you know, half a lifetime ago, that people would love to have a foundation without a scent. I don't know if that will ever happen, to be honest. Never say never, but you know, Chanel is a fragrance house and they tend to have fragrance. This one is very different from the other fragrance. I'm gonna assume that has something to do with the Red Camellia and that's the scent. I don't know that, but this is a very different scent than the other Chanel foundations. Yeah, it smells, it's very nice. It's very light. It's actually lighter than the Chanel foundations that I have had. So I'm gonna give you up close, really up close. This is how it looks on my skin after just putting it on. If you haven't watched before, as I said, I'll be 50 years old in a couple of months. I do have rosacea, I have very dry skin. I suffer from you know, broken capillaries, lines, because I'm older. You know, every once in a while, a weird breakout or redness because my skin is also extremely sensitive to everything. So I have that fun on top of it. It feels incredibly comfortable. I think it gave a great finish. I would say it's a light finish. I think you could, as I added a little bit more in here where most of my redness is, I think it diffused that extremely well. I think the B12 was the right way to go and not the B22 because I think that is a match for my neck. I am gonna do wear tests, guys, so I'll come back after, we'll do like a midday check-in and then I'll do like 6 hours. I mean 8 hours, sorry, 8 hours. But yeah, I think it feels great. It looks very nice. Very comfortable. It's not tacky, it just feels moisturizing and comfortable, which is great. Okay, so before I go and like do a bunch of things and work and a whole bunch of other stuff and come back for the check-in, let's talk about the lip and cheek balm. So there are 6 shades. 1 is Red Camellia, 2 is Healthy Pink, 3 is Vital Beige, 4 is Wake Up Pink, 5 is Lively Rosewood, and 6 is Berry Boost. I have Healthy Pink and Vital Beige, which are 2 and 3. Red Camellia is the one that I'm gonna guess is the the most tied to this collection since they called it Red Camellia and is a bright red shade. It looks very pretty. It says it enhances color, nourishes, and plumps. That might be a shade I pick up in the store. And that's another thing I want to mention about, I was talking in the beginning about the packaging and trying to be eco-friendly and more sustainable. I try not to pick up every single thing from a collection. I try to pick up the things. I have been told that I am picky. I like to say it's pronounced discerning, but I am discerning about the things that I pick for my collections, whether it's makeup or clothes or anything else. And when I am buying a makeup collection to show all of you, I try to invest in the products that I know that I will use, because I feel like it's very wasteful for me to just buy 17 lipsticks and use one of them and, you know, they go bad. All this stuff eventually goes bad. And if it isn't like something I could share with somebody else, you know, I could give it to my sister, or I could give it to my mom or my friends or whatever. So I try to pick shades that I know will work for me or likely will work for me. That's especially true when I'm buying online because it's harder to tell. So I don't buy the entire collection unless it's a collection that I absolutely just fall in love with online and I buy the whole thing. That has happened. So that's why I picked up these two shades, because I was like, these two shades are likely to work for me. And I've done the same thing in the Velvet lipsticks, the Comet lipsticks that came out, and in the, what I call the Mediterranean collection. So if there are particular shades that you want to see that I don't automatically have as part of my review, let me know, because as I go into stores or as I get a better understanding of the collection and whether I really like it, I can certainly pick up other shades that you guys are interested in me testing out. But in the beginning, when I'm just sort of blind buying, I'm gonna try to stick to shades that I know work for me, because I don't wanna be overly wasteful. I like to not do that if I can avoid it. So I picked up 2 and 3, and it says it's a multi-use lip and cheek balm enriched with red camellia oil. Same thing in the foundation. A nourishing buttery formula melts into skin while adding a touch of color. Lips appear vibrant and plump, which would be awesome because my lips never appear vibrant and plump. Okay, seeks to minimize environmental impact with sustainably developed formulas. Same thing as the foundation. Dab or press into lips for a more precise application. Use the flat end of the retractable dual end concealer brush. On cheeks, use your finger to tap and blend, or use the round end of concealer brush. So I'm gonna take both shades so you guys can see them and see what you think. All right, this is Vital Beige, which doesn't look at all beige to me. When I saw I saw a couple of early swatches from, I believe, another country online, and then I also saw some things online, and it didn't look beige. It looked kind of rosy brown to me, which is what I tend to go for, which is why I picked this one. So that's 3, also known as Vital Beige. A lot will also depend on how these sheer out. You know, if they become very sheer, like the Red Camellia could be really pretty, but if it's a bright red on my pale skin, that won't look great. Okay, so there's the 2 and a healthy pink. I also like the Lively Rosewood, which is number 5, and the Wake Up Pink, which is number 4. So like I said, I'll be looking at these in store and we'll pick up, you know, whatever catches my eye. All right, so let's start with the healthy pink, and let's just put it on like the higher part of the cheek hair and see how that works. It looks to me like a very healthy flush. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. The question will be, with a lot of these creams, you know, I find that on me it works really well because my skin is dry, but on some of my friends who have oilier skin, the creams don't last. They, you know, the color's there in the beginning and then they kind of disappear. I don't really have that very often because my skin's so dry. I don't really eat makeup. Instead, what tends to happen to me is that things will, you know, settle into my lines or just frankly make me look older than I need to look, which nobody wants that. Perfectly happy, you know, looking a healthy 49, but I don't really need to age myself. So that's the healthy pink. I really like that. That's a very natural look to me. I think it's a very like you know, I went for a slight jog in the cold weather. Very pretty. Really, really like that. And then the Vital Beige, I'm going to assume on my face will look a little more amped up than that. So I'm going to put it like a little more what you would consider, not the apples of my cheek, because I have like big cheeks. So I don't necessarily want to emphasize that part of my face, but like a little bit towards the middle here. And I think you can definitely like mix the two and build. It's not a deep shade at all. Those are the things that I do have to take into consideration when I'm buying things online. Because I am so pale, sometimes things are just, you know, too vibrant for me, but I think that looks great. All right, let's try it on the lip. I know a lot of you do not like using your fingers, so you can absolutely use like a lip brush for this. Somebody who suffers with like dry lips the entire fall and winter, this is a really nice product. I think it's got a great shade to it. I think it reminds me a little bit, and I've been talking about this nonstop, so I know you're tired of hearing it, but the Dior New Rose lip balm, which is like my favorite thing of all time now, it's got a similar shade. It's not exact, but it's similar. Here's the New Rose Dior, and here's Vital Beige. And I think I can like put a little bit more on, you'll see what I mean. See, they're similar. So this is the Dior New Rose, and this is Vital Beige, number 3. I think there's a lot of similarity there between those two shades, which is why I instantly like it on my lips. Yeah, it ends up looking very similar, at least on my skin. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I think the best thing to do at this point is go and do the things I need to do today. And just let this kind of work. You know what I might do? I might take a little bit of this Healthy Pink. Let's just see what happens. I mean, I know it's more emollient, so I'm not suggesting everyone do this, because if you have really oily eyelids, probably not a good plan. But I have really dry eyelids, so I think it'll be fine. You know, you gotta play around with makeup. I mean, that's what it's there for. See what works for you. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But, you know, this is a multi-purpose product. In fact, all products are multi-purpose if you just sort of decide you want to use them that way. Yeah, I think that looks great. It feels very comfortable. It's definitely moisturizing. It's not tight at all. I don't think it's settling into any lines. What I'm gonna do is put on a little bit of mascara. I won't put any bronzer or highlighter or anything on today, because I want to see how this sort of sinks into the skin, how it ends up looking. If I put powder over it, or if I, you know, add anything to it, I think that distracts, I think that detracts from the experiment, if you will. I think it's best to just leave it and then see what happens in like 3 or 4 hours, and then the 8-hour mark. So I'll check back in midday, do a little, this is where we are, and then finish it out at an 8-hour mark and tell you my thoughts. All right, be back soon. Okay, back at the 8-hour mark. I totally did not have time to do a check-in halfway through the day, but I did take some selfies at about the, I'll double check, but I think it was like the 3.5, 4-hour mark. So this is me at 8 hours. It's been a long day. My hair is a mess. Actually, this will be the last time you guys see it this long. I'm gonna be getting about 6 inches cut off very soon. I usually do that twice a year. I get like 6 inches cut off, and then it all grows back in 6 months. But so my roots are bad, and I look a little, I don't want to say disheveled, but you know, a little shiny, which is surprising for me because I have very dry skin. So it just shows you how moisturizing this foundation is. So I think you can see that it's broken down in a way that's pretty uniform. Just pulling my hair back from my face so you guys can see what I mean. It's shiny, but it hasn't really lost coverage, and I don't think it's really settled into lines. I think overall it looks really good, and in fact, if I just took a little bit of powder, which I'll do for you in a second, I think it would look almost brand new. The stuff that I put on my eye actually feels pretty comfortable. As I mentioned, I have very dry skin on my eyelids, so it actually was fine. On my lips, it had basically worn off and left behind. You can kind of see like there's a little bit of a stain. I have used a clear lip balm since then because I cannot go all day without lip balm. My lips are just too dry. But I didn't reapply the balm from Chanel. I just put a clear lip balm over it. So you can see it kind of leaves a little bit of a stain behind. The cheeks, I think I've lost some of the pigment, but I still think some of it is definitely there. You can see it. So, you know, by itself, without any powder underneath or over it, I think you're gonna lose some of the pigment because creams have a tendency to do that. I've said my skin's pretty dry. So if you have dry skin, this is how it kind of looks after 8 hours. It's very moisturizing. It's probably one of the most nourishing foundations that I've used that still has a light coverage. I have some foundations like the cream foundation by Clos de Peau that is very nourishing, but it's like a creamy, thick formulation. And I use it in like now, in the dead of winter when I'm outside, because it's, you know, it's very, very thick and it's like a cream. It almost reminds me of like a La Mer cream almost. It's that kind of consistency. This is a creamy consistency, but the finish is I'd say light unless you build it. So it could be a light to medium, but it's very nourishing and feels very comfortable. So I think that's amazing. I'm gonna take a little bit of powder. This is the Dior Lavender Powder, one of my favorites. I'm really gonna miss this when it's gone, because I don't think I can get it again. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on. I use very little, but I think you'll see as soon as I do this, I mean, it looks like I first put it on. I think that's pretty impressive for 8 hours. For a, you know, a moisturizing, nutrient-rich foundation that doesn't, you know, is not matte, doesn't make my skin feel tight at all, feels very comfortable. By the way, I changed my shirt, yes, because I got changed into something more comfortable. But yeah, I really like this foundation. These are first impressions of the foundation. Obviously, I'm gonna try them over days, weeks, months, and I'll give you updates, but at the moment, I think this is fantastic. So of the foundations I've tried lately, this one, the #1 by Chanel, is excellent. The Charlotte Tilbury is excellent. I'd put them in this, like they're both amazingly good. And the Dior Matte Foundation, which I still confuses me. I did actually order a full bottle of it and I'll be testing it out for all of you, like this one. But I really like that one. I think the foundation is really good. It creates a great finish. If you like more of a velvet matte finish, it lasts. Doesn't seem to break down. The Charlotte Tilbury one is a little, I feel like it's a little bit more coverage than this, just a little bit. It feels different. It feels almost like gel-like, at least to me on my skin, but love the finish. This one feels like a lighter finish. It feels like nothing is really on your face, but obviously it is because it, you know, smooths everything out and creates a fantastic canvas. So I'm gonna test them all out. I'll do an update next month because I like to, but I'll just keep rotating those 3 to get thoughts for all of you and give you updates. But for now, very impressed. And the cheek and lip balms, really like them. I really do. I think they're very good. And when I go into the store, it will be this week, actually. I'm just reapplying I think this is the Healthy Pink. I probably will buy more. I want to see what they look like in person. Like the Red Camellia did really kind of call out to me, but I thought it would be too much on my skin. Seeing these, I think I could get away with it. Maybe I'll buy all of them. I don't know, but I really like this. I think it gives a nice, natural, rosy, healthy glow. and it went great over the powder like that. Yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that they're being more thinking about ways to sustain the products that they use, more sustainability of the products that they use, that, you know, they're at more places to buy. I mean, it's great that they're at Ulta and at the boutiques, and, you know, the price point, like I said, is in line with their other products. Still expensive because it's Chanel, but yeah, so far I really, really like it. And I'll continue to provide updates. All right, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.